Hey guys, it's me. It's Queen Offset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to somebody else who may like it as well. Also, if you have time, please drop us a positive comment in the comment section. Thank you so much. Alright guys, so first of all, before I get started, I have a new patron. Her name is CorrineC. So I wanted to say hi, Corinne, and thank you for becoming a patron. I really hope you enjoyed the witch trials, and right after this video, I'll be uploading another episode for this week. So you get a brand new one to see as you're hopefully watching the old ones as well. All right, thank you so much. It's good to have you. All right, guys. So we're going to talk about something very interesting today. Someone said to me, how do Aquarius know when to walk away versus when to try to use conflict resolution? Now, I've seen a lot about this online. I've seen a lot about people saying that, you know, some things you walk away from, and some people think people walk away too easily. I've seen a lot of different things online. And I want to tell you guys something that's very important. Not every conflict can be resolved. Not every situation has a happy ending. Not everything can be worked on right now. Some things just need some time. You got to come back to them later. Some things have to be tabled for a little while. So I don't want people to get it in their heads that you can fix everything. And this is very dangerous because I know a lot of healers, especially myself, who have fallen into this trap, believing that they can heal anything or help anything heal or resolve any conflict with love. Sounds good. And I believe in love and I believe in its power. But sometimes some conflicts cannot be resolved. So the person was asking me, how does the Aquarius know the difference between the two? I don't know how other Aquarius know the difference between the two, but I'm going to tell you how I know the difference between the two. I know if a situation can be resolved because both parties or all the parties involved in the situation are committed and dedicated to it being resolved. Let me say it again. When all parties are committed and dedicated to it being resolved. If I want to resolve something, but you want to still fight, there is no resolution. If we have a family dispute going on and 2 or 3 of us want to work on it and the other 2 or 3 have shut down, there is no resolution. Resolution, the most important part of resolution is willingness. And some of you who are into therapy or who are into learning about, healing trauma, things like this, you've probably heard this word a lot because it comes up a lot, especially in like forgiveness and self-forgiveness and things like that. The word willingness. If all parties involved are not willing, it's not going to happen because fundamentally speaking, everybody has to come to the table agreeing that they're going to work towards the resolution. If you and I have a fight and I want to work towards a resolution, but you still want to fight, we have no resolution. If I want to fight today but don't want to fight tomorrow, but then I want to fight on Thursday, we have no resolution. Both people have to come to a consensus about both people or all the people, because some disputes are more than one person, but everybody has to come to the same space. Somebody once asked me, how come I was never able to use conflict resolution with the situation with Voldemort? Because he didn't want to resolve the situation. That ain't what he wanted to do. He wanted to continue holding on to the anger, the negativity, the nastiness, and the bitterness of the situation. So I can't do nothing about that. I can ask, I can try to be kind, I can try to be polite, I can try to be diplomatic. All these things I tried. I used my best therapy techniques on it, and it didn't work because he didn't want to. He didn't want to do it. So there's no way you can resolve something if one or more people don't want to resolve the conflict. That's why the people over in the Middle East have been in this dispute for as long as they have been in this dispute. And you can look around the world, look at the Hatfields and the McCoys, look at other famous rivalries and gangs and things like that, and groups that have been fighting for centuries. It's willingness. And think about some of these cases. In some of these cases, one or the other have been ready and willing to resolve the dispute, but the other one wasn't. So they have to not only be willing, but they have to be willing simultaneously. And they have to commit to that willingness and then act out whatever the process, the steps of healing are in that particular situation. So you're not going to be able to heal everything. And the Aquarius inherently knows this. So we know that sometimes we have to walk away. So if we look at a situation, most of us anyway, if we look at a situation and we see that the other person or ourself is not willing, we don't waste our time. If I'm not willing to show up in a relationship, I'm not going to try. I'm not going to tell somebody, yeah, let's try resolving this conflict if I know I don't want to, or I don't want to show up in that way, or it's resolved for me. I know somebody right now who wants to rekindle a friendship with me. But for me, it's resolved. There is no rekindling of this particular vibration. Now, I have rekindled certain vibrations for different reasons. And some of them I never have, and some of them I never would. But the bottom line is because it's already resolved for me. But this other person would like to be able to, bring the friendship back together. But that's not what I want. So if I know that I'm not going to come to the table, if I know that I'm not going to show up, or if I know the other person is not going to show up, then there's no point in wasting each other's time. So Aquarius know intuitively if one or both of us is not showing up. And if I can tell that you're not showing up, or I'm not showing up, or whatever the issue is, neither one of us is willing to address, then I'm going to walk away. And remember, I said some things have to be tabled. Some situations can't be worked out right now. I've had a couple, as a matter of fact, I have two. I told you guys I saw two exes. And this was about a month ago. And me and both exes have come to and have stayed at a good place. And the reason why was because it is years later. It couldn't happen at that moment. It was too raw. It was too hurt. It was too angry at that moment. But left alone for 7 years or more, and the energy has cooled, forgiveness has occurred, it's water under the bridge. So now those conflicts have been resolved, and we're skipping off into the sunset and able to have a good conversation and good feelings towards each other because time has happened. So some things cannot be resolved. Some things cannot be resolved at this moment. And the Aquarius intuitively knows which way to go. Some people get mad at Aquarius about this, because the Aquarius will walk away and they'll be pissed because they don't want the Aquarius to walk away. But what they're not remembering is that both people have to be willing. If the Aquarius knows they're not going to show up, if the Aquarius knows intuitively that it's not going to happen for them or the other person or both of them, then there's no point. Walking away isn't a bad thing. When something isn't right for you, when something is harmful to you, when something just needs to be left alone, walking away from it isn't bad. Our society is so afraid to walk away from something. We act like we're going to miss something. Sometimes you have to leave a person alone to do their own growing. The same way when you plant a seed, you don't dig it back up every day to see if it's growing yet. Sometimes you have to plant something, put some dirt on it, and walk away. And sometimes that's indefinite, and sometimes you'll come back, and sometimes you never will. But that's okay. We have to become, we have to become comfortable with walking away. Sometimes that's what you have to do. And the Aquarius knows intuitively when it's time to move on. So if it's time to move on and you going about your business, it's okay. All right? And if you're going to resolve the conflict and you both agree, commit to doing the work and get to doing it. But don't kid yourself and don't waste each other's time. Okay? All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So if you would like to get a reading done, please email me. If you want to check me out online, all my information will be underneath here. And if you want to become one of my patrons on Patreon, that would be fabulous. All that information is underneath here too. All right, guys, come back soon because I got a lot more to say. See you later.